Welcome back subscribers and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're off to a brickworks factory that no longer exists and it's been decommissioned. The Brunswick Brick, Tile and Pottery Company was established in 1870 on a 12-acre paddock on Albert Street Brunswick as one of the first modern mechanical brickworks in Australia. It's located at 8 Pottery Court in Brunswick Victoria, which is 6.2 kilometres or 3.8 miles north of the state capital Melbourne. It was also known as Hoffman Paint and Brick and Tile Company, Hoffman Brickworks or Jeff Hoffman's for most of its 100 plus years of operation. The Hoffman Brickworks was founded by Jenkin, Collier and James McKenzie with Messrs Barry, Owen and Rourke. Initially, it employed Pratt brick presses and constructed Hoffman patent continuous firing kilns, developed by Friedreich Hoffman of Stettin, Prussia in 1859. In 1887, the company had ordered Bradley Craven Ltd automatic brick presses, which were fabricated by Langlands foundry, and a year later purchased another at the Centennial exhibition. The first kiln was circular, but the company rapidly expanded and added at least 5 oblong Hoffman kilns between 1880 and about 1914. In 1884, the company erected the new No. 2 works in Dawson Street, Brunswick, south of the original works, as the clay pit had exhausted, having excavated up to the backs of the nearby houses. This works employed over 400 men and produced over 40 million bricks per year, reflecting the importance of the industry on the land boom of the 1880s. After the depression of the 1890s, the company expanded throughout the following decades. The Hoffman's factory whistle, which rang from 7:15 to 7:20 in the morning to wake workers, was a regular that locals could set their watches by. The company also added a pottery works, much of the production going into terracotta sewage pipes as the Melbourne sewage scheme was being constructed around the turn of the century. The pottery also manufactured a wide range of domestic wares, including the Mel-Rose Australian ware. The former Hoffman Brickworks Brunswick is historically significant as a rare surviving industrial site which is illustrated by Melbourne's brick-making industry. The site retains a brick press building and associated machinery, an engine house and 2 Hoffman kilns and 3 chimneys. The kilns were last of their type to operate in metropolitan Melbourne. Hoffman Dawson Street Works is one of 2 surviving early Melbourne brickworks, the other being in Box Hill Brickworks. The site is listed on the Victorian Heritage Register. Once again, all the credits and references to the voiceover and these old historic images will be linked in the description below. And we have arrived safely, and I can tell you the whole area here is like a housing estate. I think it's a government housing estate, but the whole place has been redeveloped. It looks fantastic actually. Doesn't look like a bad place to live. I'll spin the camera around, show you what we're looking at, but I'm most impressed. Hopefully there might be a cafe nearby, but other than that, the wind is not too bad, so I should be able to get the drone up. I'm curious to see what it looks like from overhead. And there is a few signs and plaques to tell you what this place used to be, which is good. So I'll spin the camera around and let's see what we see. So this is the basic outlay of this location, how it's been redeveloped. And over to our right, we have some plaques about the history and what the factory actually looks like. So once again, press pause if you're interested to read this sort of stuff. By all means, do so. And I'll just come in a bit closer to get this image. I think it's pretty good. I don't think I found that actual image. You can see how deep the quarry used to be. Very interesting. And then over here, it shows you the housing and where they did the pottery works. Very good. I'll just slowly pan around to the other thing I've noticed. I think that's something that's just been slapped together. I could be totally wrong. And this is what we're looking at. And you can see the one of the chimneys that's still wrapped up in scaffolding, and there has been some dispute on the cost of repairing it or leaving with the scaffolding on. And I think that's a dispute that's been going on for quite a number of years now, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'll just pan around to this side, and you can see that there's a lot of open space and all the new government housing that's been provided in the area. It very much has an industrial look to housing, which is good. I think it's very appropriate for this location because it was quite heavy industry in this immediate spot, and they've maintained that look. Now all these, where the kilns are, there's all apartments above them, so you can actually live here. So the kilns are underneath and the apartments are above. It would make for a snappy address, and what looks like a bit of a factory in the background, they're also, I'll just zoom in so you know what I'm looking at. They're also apartments with that corrugated look. Quite unique. So here we have one more of these plaques that gives you a bit more information. So this is kiln number 3, they're calling it. And you can see all the individual numbers where the trolleys of the bricks would come in to get fired. Now I can tell you that the person who's come with me is an old friend from work. His mother, as a child, she's long past, but as a child used to come here and feed the donkeys. So they used to have donkeys pulling in like sleds and into the kiln, and then they get fired up, and then they get the donkeys to pull them out again. So there used to be like train rails for that to occur, because I'm assuming there would have been a lot of weight. And yeah, so as a young woman, she used to come here and feed the donkeys. So that's something most people don't realise. Now I have to agree, they've repurposed this area really well and still heritage listed and protected. I think they've done a terrific job. Wow, those chimneys are really tall. Now the wind has picked up, so I'm not sure if the drone's going to be able to go up. You can probably see in the background some of the trees and the leaves and the branches swaying. I do like the brickwork, how they've got those curved bricks. This is where you'd bring in your trolley or pallet or whatever it is. The donkeys would drag them in. Very good. So there is a little coffee shop at the location where the white tent is, or the marquee, and the building behind. So that's pretty good. I think that's where it'll probably end up. So here is the final plaque that we've seen. I think it's the final one. I've still got to go around one more kiln area. So once again, press pause if you want to read. Another close-up of this photo. And from my understanding, this area was renowned for the good clay that it had to make those bricks. Okay. Well, I guess I spoke to earlier. Here's another plaque. This is the number 2 works. And I'll just zoom in some of these photos. I think we've got most of these that you would have already seen in the introduction to this video. But once again, I'll just zoom out a little bit. And if you want to keep reading, press pause and read at your own pleasure. So here's that final chimney that is under dispute about what's going to happen to it. Very, very tall. Looks like the pigeons have made it a home. So here we are at the final plaque about this location. So now we've found them all. Alright, this photo I have not got, so I'll get a bit of a closer look, but it's relatively new, as in the works and the redevelopment has already taken place. Okay, and I can tell you there are people floating around just looking at this location, so it's obviously got a lot of history with other people. And we have seen some of these openings with the bays, I don't even know what you call it, to go into the kilns. We have seen people go in there, but they're all locked. Some of them are blocked off totally like this, while others do have doors on them like this. So there might be a situation, I don't know who you'd contact, and they will take you in there to show you around. I'll try to show you that you can actually see something in there, and there's a proper walking area. I don't know if that's coming through at all, but you can walk in there and there's plenty of space for anyone to really walk. There's plenty of headroom anyway, and you can walk around, but I think you probably have to make some sort of appointment, I guess.
So here we are at the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Something a bit different once again. If you did like the video, by all means click on the like button or the thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. Subscribing does not cost you 1 cent, and it really does help the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day. And once again, thank you for your time for watching.